KX News, putting North Dakota first.
A proposed Chinese corn processing plant near the Grand Forks Air Force Base has now become an issue far beyond the Grand Forks area. It has become a national issue and one that is under scrutiny in Washington, from military and national security officials to our own U.S. senators. Senator Kevin Cramer joins us now to discuss his joint letter with Senators Marco Rubio and John Hoeven, calling on the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, commonly referred to as CFIUS, to conduct a review of the Chinese food manufacturer Fufeng Group's recent purchase of land just 12 miles from Grand Forks Air Force Base. Senator Cramer, thank you for being here.
Thanks for the opportunity, Josh. It's an important issue.
Now, Senator, you've long been opposed to the project and have advocated for strategic decoupling with China. There are key Republican leaders in this state who support the project, touting its economic benefits. If China is such a threat to our country, do you think some are putting selling another bushel of corn over national security?
Well, I think everybody has, legitimate reasons for either opposing or supporting the project, and it just may be that some people aren't as in touch or in tune with the nefarious actions of the Chinese Communist Party with their economic weapon systems as well as their literal weapon systems. Kudos to the community members who have sounded the alarm, that have been concerned about the Grand Forks Air Force Base, as well as just our vulnerability to China in our supply chain, particularly our food supply chain. But no, I think there are good people on all sides of the issue, although I also think that the people of Grand Forks are united behind their support for the Grand Forks Air Force Base, for its advancements, for its growing missions sets, which are very important. And not all of them perhaps are as familiar with the details of what those missions are. But I think at the end of the day, we'll all come together.
Senator, the Committee on Foreign Investments in the U.S., or CFIUS, includes representatives from 16 federal departments and agencies, including the Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. As you know, it's been reported that the chairman of Fufeng has close ties to the Communist Chinese Party. How confident are you that serious espionage issues or connections to the CCP will be exposed during this review?
Yeah, listen, like you said, there's several agencies with great concerns. I think the process itself provides an opportunity for all of those agencies to voice very specific concerns that without the CFIUS process may not voice those concerns. In other words, you'll oftentimes hear somebody say, well, we don't know of any direct threat. I think the FBI has said something like that. I think the Air Force has said something like that. Well, not knowing of a direct threat is not the same thing as saying there are no threats. And I think by having the process and the aggregation of all of these agencies together, I'm almost certain that they'll find plenty of reasons to be concerned. So I do wish, now here's something you all will almost never hear me say, so I'll say it now. I do wish the federal government would have been a little more forthcoming with concerns earlier. I tried to provide multiple opportunities for them to do that. Generally speaking, I don't want the federal government to impose themselves on our excellence at the local level, but this is an area where really the assets and the intelligence of the federal government system, it really is important.
Do you think it's possibly too late for this project? Do you think it's going to come through even though these serious concerns are there?
So I will say I'm pretty confident that it won't. And the reason I say that is because the community leaders in Grand Forks, Mayor Boshinsky and his team and his lawyers have done a really good job of putting guardrails around this investment. Things like clawbacks, should there be any type of nefarious action that is revealed or any type of intelligence concerns that pose a threat. They have built a financial system, an economic model around this project that assures them the opportunity to take back any of the incentives that they're providing, including land and political advantage. So no, I'm confident that it's not too late.
And now there's plenty of land. Is there any sort of suspicion as to why they chose this land near the Air Force Base?
So I've always been concerned about the location. I've always been suspicious about it. while Grand Forks is a very, very good agricultural community, it's got some of the most advanced agricultural leadership anywhere in the country and the world, and it's obviously in the heart of the Red River Valley, and they've proven themselves to be very good at both growing crops and adding value to those crops. One thing Grand Forks County and the area are not they're not in the heart of corn country. They're certainly on the fringe of it, but not in the heart of it. So I've always been a little bit suspicious of the value of the location to corn milling, and also concerned about the value of the location to potential spying, particularly when you think about the fact that the Grand Forks Air Force Base is already a very important ISR base. But in addition to that, it's going to become an even more important ISR base. By that I mean intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and mission base, because the Global Hawks that are going to be retired in a few years are going to be replaced by a much more sophisticated new system. And we already know, because we've celebrated the ribbon cutting, that the Space Development Agency is putting their very first satellite ground station. That means there's going to be a lot of data uplinks and downlinks of very important information that we certainly wouldn't want to make easy for our adversaries like China to be able to access.